Hey folks, Attorney Sharif Silmi. I want to talk to you about the National Interest Waiver and why one may want to apply for the National Interest Waiver. The National Interest Waiver is a second category employment-based immigration petition that does not require an employer or a job offer, meaning one may apply directly for the immigrant petition and subsequent green card based on his or her skills, ability, talent, experience. Now, the individual will want to apply for a national interest waiver under a few scenarios. For example, one may be a professional who completed her education overseas and is working at a very strong level and is interested in immigrating to the U.S., or perhaps is an entrepreneur that is highly skilled and successful and wants to come into the United States. Another scenario is an individual who is in the U.S., for example, a person who is on an OPT, practical training, after completing her studies and wants to work and live permanently in the U.S., but does not necessarily have an employer sponsor that they are relying upon. The third example would be an individual who already has an approved I-140. However, they are in a situation where they have a country quota, meaning they are waiting for their priority date to become current before completing their adjustment of status. It is important for this person to pursue a national interest waiver because in an environment of uncertainty, one may not necessarily want to depend solely on his or her employer for an adjustment of status and eventual green card. Rather, they file for a national interest waiver, and this becomes an I-140 approved that is personal to them and that they can take with them wherever they go. So, for example, if someone is from India, they may have a priority date that is, say, 2014 is when their I-140 was approved. At the present time, the I-140 priority date for India is 2009. And they will not likely have an adjustment of status opportunity anytime soon. And if they are not sure that they're going to remain with their present employer, they may want to pursue a national interest waiver because that I-140 stays with them no matter what. And if they are on an H-1B, their H-1B can be continuously renewed pursuant to their approved national interest waiver. Also, they can maybe pursue opportunities in other countries, such as Canada, Singapore, wherever, and their I-140 national interest waiver always remains with them, and whenever that priority date becomes current, they can immigrate into the United States, or if they are in the United States, they can adjust status pursuant to the national interest waiver. Now, the national interest waiver has two main overarching requirements. The first requirement is that you have a master's degree or professional degree. So for example, if you are in the field of dentistry, you may not have a master's degree, but you have a professional degree in dentistry, maybe a doctorate, it may be something else depending on what country you're from, and that will put you in a situation where you can apply successfully for a national interest waiver. Alternatively, if you do not have a master's degree or a highly advanced professional degree, you can pursue what is called the E21 Extraordinary criteria. Now, in this case, one has a bachelor's degree. Also, you can demonstrate that you have 10 years of work experience in your field, that you have professional membership within an organization in your field, that you have a professional license in your field, that you have significant contributions to your field of endeavor, that you command a high salary, or other comparable evidence that will demonstrate that you have extraordinary ability. Now, meeting three of these lesser E21 criteria will allow you to pursue this national interest waiver. So either you have a master's degree, or if you do not have a master's degree, there's no problem. You use your bachelor's degree, 10 years work experience, you command a high salary, or you have professional membership or professional license. You do not need all of these criteria. You just need some that will apply to you. And as always, you ought to consult with us in order to fully understand what your eligibility is within your specific situation. Now, once you establish either the master's degree or the E21 criteria, you then turn to demonstrate what is called the Dinosaur Analysis. The Dinosaur Analysis is based on meeting 3 specific requirements. Those specific requirements are, first, that you work in an area that is of merit and substantial benefit to the United States. Now, what this is about is working in a specific endeavor, in some kind of field. For example, we have done many successful cases with individuals who work in the IT and healthcare field. And particularly in the post-COVID-19 situation, any individual that's working in a healthcare related field or perhaps an IT related field that promotes or allows folks to work remotely or practice social distancing and the like will absolutely, I think, demonstrate that they are working in an area of national importance and substantial merit. This is all about pursuing an endeavor that is nationally important to the United States. And this can be established through many facets. It can be economic, like I mentioned, healthcare related. You can be an entrepreneur. You can be IT related. We've also had successful cases for individuals who are in mineral mining, oil and gas, the architecture, graphic design. There's a wide range of individuals who may qualify under the national importance and substantial merit criteria of the National Interest Waiver. The second requirement of the Dinosaur Analysis within National Interest Waiver is to demonstrate that you are well positioned to advance the merit, the area of substantial merit that you identified. So here, what we're talking about is now that we've established that you work in an area that is of substantial merit and national importance, we turn to how you are well positioned to advance that particular area of endeavor. This could be based on your specific and personal accomplishments, accolades, awards, recognition from past employers, and academic knowledge or accomplishment. So this is about your personal qualities and how they will impact or advance the area of national importance that you're working in. The final requirement under the Dinosaur Analysis is a balance test. So we have to understand the policy behind the balance test in order to be successful. The National Interest Waiver is a waiver from having an employer-sponsored visa. Therefore, the government is saying, based on the national importance of the area of work that you're involved in, we are going to waive the requirement of having you go to the U.S. Department of Labor and seek out a permanent labor certification, essentially certifying that there are no U.S. workers that can do the same job that you're able to do in the United States. So the waiver is provided based on balancing the interest the United States has in having you as a medical IT expert, for example, remaining permanently in the United States and working and benefiting and creating jobs, for example, versus the interest the United States has in protecting American workers. So what you want to do in this balance test is show that you are actually going to add to employment in the U.S. You're going to be a job creator, for example. Another great way to demonstrate this, as was done in the Dinosaur case, is to show that you're going to work in an area that is not practical for the employer to submit a job certification application to the U.S. Department of Labor. I've seen many successful applications. I've submitted many successful applications where the individual was pursuing a job at a state agency, and that state agency said, as a matter of policy, it's not personal to you, just a matter of policy, we do not sponsor foreign workers. That is actually something that will benefit you in the Dinosaur balance test. So it is a great way if you're looking at a nonprofit or state agency position that has a policy that they do not sponsor foreign workers, you may be able to use that to your benefit in the balance test. To recap, with the National Interest Waiver, what you want to do is either you have a master's degree or you meet the E21 Extraordinary ability criteria, then you demonstrate that you are working in an area that is of substantial merit and national importance, that you're pursuing an area of national importance in the U.S. in terms of your area of endeavor, that you are well positioned to advance the endeavor, and lastly, that you pass the balance test, that it is more important to U.S. interests to have you pursue your area of endeavor within the U.S. than it is for the U.S. to protect U.S. workers in this particular scenario. I hope you find this video informative and helpful to you. Please reach out to us for a consultation because every case is different and you need a skilled practitioner to fully understand how you can benefit from this wonderful visa category.